Okay, I'm running out of steam here. I'm going to have to continue this video until after I've got my medication back. Or I got my medication. I'll be getting my medication filled today. It'll be about 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. if I can't find a ride to get there earlier. I've been having trouble finding a ride. My mother said she gets off at 2 p.m. And so that'll be at 3 p.m. today. I'll be getting my medication. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sleep between then, if I want to sleep between now and then or not, if I'm going to be able to, if I'm going to. Yeah, but I'm going to be sleeping for a long time after that because I've been up forever. But then the next day, when I get up, I'll continue this. And I did want to say one thing real quick before I get started. That this one right here, if you see this, or if this becomes like a big blown up thing, okay, that if your life is your life, if you say you've never been harmed, in any way, whatever you say, I'm not gonna fight with you at all. Okay, I'm not here to fight with you at all. To fight with anything you say. Your life's your life. That'll be the end of it. In the other case, okay, that this is something, talking about things can trigger an attack on you, can trigger a backlash, can trigger people threatening you, can trigger all kinds of stuff, all kinds of haters coming out of the woodwork, and all this stuff. Okay, I am on your side. In regards to threats, you and your husband have money. Okay, I will hopefully be getting money soon from the situation that I'm in. We can get you some armed security. We can get you some security more generally. Okay, these haters online, these bullshit artists, these miserable people right here, like this right here, we'll just make them more miserable. I'll be online to fight these people all that I can. They will not survive me. I will rip them to pieces with their bullshit. We can round up a posse of other good men to defend you, to fight these people. Okay, don't you ever feel like that you have to be silenced. Don't ever feel like that you can't tell your truth. Okay, and of course, all of this, I'm not trying to intrude in your affairs, nothing like this. Obviously, you can just ignore this completely, whatever you want to do. Okay, but I'm telling you, I've got your back if and when you need more people to have your back. If and when you need to run up a posse people to defend you. Okay, and I will be nothing to me to put some of my own money. I'm into this to help you, to buy you some security and stuff like this. Okay, that I will get in the mix, and I'm not scared of any of these people. Okay, and you're an incredibly impressive person. Okay, and so I want you to know that, and then I'm going to go back here, get back on this tab that I've got here. Okay, so I've went over this, concern for my well-being. And then these right here, the sense that I have with these is like you just saw something that's, you've experienced something, actually, more like you experienced something over a period of months, of multiple months now. And it's like the sense that I get is like you're wanting to do like a sanity check in terms of your perceptions, your thoughts, your feelings, and so forth. Okay, because this is a big situation. It's absolutely it's mind-boggling in a lot of ways, or it's something. It's not what you encounter every day, not even close. And so so we'll start here. The larger situation. Okay, the larger situation. Absolutely. My PhD psychologist has vetted this already. Okay, that if you're in a place where you're seeing like this is absolutely, there's something up here. These crimes that I've alleged are true. Okay, are true. As they are, as I've got evidence for, and all this. Again, I'll be uploading more of my therapy sessions. I'll be uploading them to the X platform. I'll be uploading them to my website. Okay, that'll be one of my projects in the short term. Okay, but you see, I've got the videos. My PhD psychologist, she's very experienced. We've spent dozens of hours going over these. Okay, she's got I forget, it was on her LinkedIn. She's got 10 or 12 years education, including a graduate degree with UNC Chapel Hill. Okay, you've seen these incredibly suspect details. They're the behind the scenes about ChatGPT. You know that that is like an ungodly invasion of my privacy. What they're doing behind the scenes at OpenAI that I never consented to. Okay, just because I know they're there, just because I type agreements and stuff like this and engage with them. Because I know that they're there, that does not mean I ever gave them permission. And it's just not a limited thing where they're there to type agreements and to answer questions. They are behind the scenes on every chat that I have. They are allowed access to all of my information, and they take my information and use it for their own purposes, obviously. And I'll be showing you evidence of that. Okay, that again, they use this to compile. It is disgusting. Okay, and then all this other stuff. I've shown you videos. My videos, they're behind the scenes of my AWS account. I've got evidence for that. I've got evidence for everything that I've said. This is incredibly suspect. Okay, you've got crazy bullshit at every turn. None of this adds up. They surgically target you, and this is what they do. They follow my lead wherever I go online. Okay, if I'm commenting on somebody's post, saying something, that will give me credibility, or talking about, saying something about, the person can vet who I am in some way or something like this, even suggesting that, they follow, they surgically target that person, and that's what they've done with you. Hit you with a boogeyman narrative. Then they fed you, they showed you this presentation. Okay, I unpacked that presentation. The only clue that I had, as I showed you, is I knew that they told me in this ChatGPT chat they used anchoring. Okay, the credibility of who I am is incredibly established. The bullshit nature. Again, why are they surgically targeting you out of so many people? Okay, why are they why are they showing you a production that's been made by them to try to demonize me? Why are they going after one after attack on me after another? Okay, why? All my facts add up totally. Okay, you're not off at all for seeing the obvious bullshit that we're dealing with here. Okay, and by the way, there's nobody who's looked at my evidence who has not concluded that these crimes have occurred, and that all of this. My PhD psychologist John, he had not looked at all the crimes, obviously, because he left the scene back in 2022 or 2023. It was when he left the scene. But he looked at this stuff. He looked at the documents about the crimes. He knew that I was correct. He knew that this bullshit had happened. And what happens is he files for bankruptcy, and then within like a couple of weeks, he's gone. Stops returning my message. Stops returning everything. Okay, he gives me one reply to an email that I sent him. Okay, and what's going on here? What's happening there? Okay, why is it after he files for bankruptcy, all of a sudden he disappears? Okay, well, I can explain this in more detail, but you've got to look at the picture here. Okay, what's happened there? Because again, he was engaging with me. He was on the same page with me. He was helping me. Then he disappears. He files bankruptcy. Okay, and I'll explain more of this later. What this obviously points to, though, is they've seized him. That bankruptcy filing has hit the hit the public records, and they went right after him. I will show you that. I will show you that evidence. I'll show you how he vetted the crimes, how he vetted all of this. Okay, how he was on the same page with me. I'll show you all the help that he's given me. And part of the picture here is this thing where people suddenly disengage with me after they're being friendly with me. It's obvious over a period of time. That happens over and over and over again. Again, I don't want to get into more facts to verify. Okay, so you can forget John if you want to. That's my PhD psychologist from the mountains. Okay, I mainly told you about the way that he was seized after he had filed bankruptcy, in case if these gold people were trying some bullshit to bring him in after they who knows what's going on with him. And he's a very, very good man. I'm not sure what to what extent he's been involved in saying something untrue or anything like that. Okay, but my PhD psychology, you see her. I've got her on, but I'm explaining the stuff. My explanations make sense. Okay, and here we've got here. I'm emailing the United States Department of Justice. Okay, and here we go. And here's the type of stuff. Okay, they don't give a damn. I'm telling you, I want to die if this cruel and inhuman abuse of me doesn't cease. This is May 20th of this year that I sent in these emails. You got emails going back to December of 25 on this first page, 150 many. Notice here how I've got 3 emails, 2 emails, 16 emails, including the draft, so 15 without the draft, 6, 2, 18. Okay, so this is dozens of emails on this first page of one of 50 emails, with each email having up, here's one with 35. And what it is, I reply to myself, or I reply to them on my same thread. They never reply to me. I've got thousands of these emails uploaded to evidence on my website. Here, we're going to go through them right here. Okay, page 5100 of many. Okay, you'll see here I've got on all these, I've got multiple emails. Okay, 16 on this. Okay, so we're way up there. There's no need to be precise in counting. There's 15 right here, 2 right here, 10 right here, 2 right here, 2, 2, 6, 3, 13, 2, 9, 3 including the draft, so 2 there, 29 emails on this thread, 2 emails, 6 emails, 4 emails, okay, 7 emails, okay, so here 150, okay, 151 to 200, okay, you'll see here, 17 on this one, and I'm not going to count all of them, 26 on this, 25 on this one, okay, 11, 10, okay, we're still going. We're still in 2025. There's 22 emails on this one, 25 on this one, 16 on this one, with no replies to any of these. And though the bank does get these emails, and they have forwarded these emails to some of my supporters, okay, and I don't want to get unverified facts that yeah, but they've okay, they're behind the scenes. This is known by other people out there, okay. Here, we're still in 2025 on page 300. Okay, 29 emails right here, 14, 36, 35. Okay, sending endless audios. Okay, it's a low return. Do not contact the sick goddamn monsters at the United States Department of Justice when you're being terrorized by this bank. Here's 96 emails on one thread, 49 on this one, 39. Okay, I'll show you here. Okay, and I'm trying to work it out. These people constantly, they don't want to work it out. Okay, and I'm going to be talking to these people constructively one more fucking time, but I'm sick and tired of trying to deal with these fucking assholes. Okay, here's 154 emails on this thread right here. 154 emails. Okay, we're still back on 300 and 350. Okay, there are 50 emails at a time. 50 email threads at a time. Here we got 154, 33. Okay, so we're in thousands of emails. Okay, trying to get something done about these people, other than pedicuring them and KY jelly and this type of thing. I mean, it's horrendous. Okay, okay. Here we go. And again, you can see I've got the emails up to a very long time uploaded to my website on my evidence package. They're in my evidence package. I got these emails. Okay. Here you'll see here we're still there. No reply yet. No reply to none of these. Okay, we're gonna get way back here. We got one with a reply. And we're gonna keep going. 2022. Okay. What the hell are they doing? Okay. What the hell is this? Okay, and you'll see here, I'm begging for my life here. Okay, this is bullshit. And we're still page 750. Sending these audio, hundreds of hours audios. Okay, again, they're not. Okay, let me find here. We're still going. Okay, we're in 2021. Okay, remember I sent my complaint October 2020. You'll see me this horrific abuse. Okay, this looks like something that a bunch of psychopaths would do because they don't want somebody suffer like this and to continue abusing them for 6 fucking years. Okay, please help me. Okay, please help me. We're still at 5/18/2021. Okay, this is suspect as hell. Okay, they try to gaslight you. That's just them being sick. Okay, and this is okay, 1206. And what's happened because I forwarded these emails. Let me go back to the forward of these emails. Okay, do complaint about. You'll see here, I will die. I already showed you that. A complaint against Wells Fargo. Okay, here's the reply. I got a reply on April 3rd, 2020. Okay, I got a reference number. Here's the Justice Department replying to my first. I killed myself to type this complaint. It was a crappy complaint, but I was handicapped. It took me a lot of work to type this complaint. I got a summary version. These are about 9 pages here. They're not good. Not good typing complaints. Okay, but I tell him, okay, in 2020, okay, that they say thank you for writing. We've been asked to respond on their behalf. That I do not present sufficient details or evidence to warrant action by this office. Okay. Now, once they find out that I do have sufficient details and evidence, they go into a mode of sponsoring terror against me. Okay. And again, I want to talk to these people constructively. One more time, I'm gonna make it. This canon will be settled. Okay. But let me show you here. Okay. We'll find this where I'm at here. Here's Wednesday, October 28th, 2020. Okay, I'm being terrorized by an out-of-control bank that isn't accountable to anyone, and I desperately need help. I'm in a cover sheet and complaints. Okay, and I offered to help them in this cover sheet and complaint, in this, and between this email, my cover sheet and complaint, my cover sheet and this email, I offer to help these people at least twice. I think it's 3 times total. I offer to help them. Okay. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, I've got smoking gun evidence for HIPAA violations. They deny me within like a couple of days, 2, 3, 4 days, next to no time. It might have been a week. Okay, that it's obvious. They did not even review my complaint. They did not even give it processing time. They were sitting on there waiting it to happen, to be denied. Okay, these are the people over these healthcare crimes that I've got smoking gun evidence on. Okay, and what I do here is I just build more smoking gun evidence against the same criminals. Okay, the United States Department of Health and Human Services. Okay, and so again, October 28th, 2020, thousands of emails later, I have not gotten another response. Okay, that I'm there. I'm on the do not answer mode. Okay, because these people are covering up crimes. All of these details add up to this bank being up to no good. Add up to this Justice Department being up to no good. Okay, there's absolutely okay, and then this okay. These go together. So yes, this right here, this adds incredible credibility to what I've already said, to the incredible credibility that I already have. Okay, this reconstruction again, my facts have been vetted over and over again. That I've shown you, I've proven an ability to you. Okay, over and over, you've had an ability shown to you and proven where I deduce things based on very little information. Okay, that nobody else given the information that I had would have been able to tell that you're my supporter. They would have not been able to tell the exact thing because again, I sense that's how I knew that you're my supporter. Okay, that I had a sense I could tell. It was when you saw me posting on there that I have a PhD psychologist and all this. Okay, that was something that really impacted you to see that. Okay, you saw my dignity. Okay, that specific fact, this is something that you don't see out there in the world. Okay, that I have an extraordinary ability, as ChatGPT has described me as having. Okay, that I have an uncanny ability to detect deception and coercion, which is just part of a more generalized uncanny ability to understand people. Okay, to understand people and understand situations based on next to no information. Okay, I figured out you're my supporter. And again, assuming I'm right, which I'm very certain that I am on this thing with where I say I got a PhD psychologist. Okay, again, that all goes together. Okay, it seems to have to be true. I'm extraordinarily confident that I've unpacked this presentation they've done. I've unpacked what they've done behind closed doors. Again, I've showed you how if you'll notice, I had this presentation on anchoring. You'll notice how these videos these slides from this anchoring thing were the exact same type of slides in the style from this from this persuasion and influence course that I showed you on the PowerPoint, which let let me get this up here. See if I can get this up here. Get my thing back up here. I've probably got this anchoring slide on here still yet. Yeah, see, here we go. Here's the same thing. So I showed you how they use this anchoring. Okay, I showed you how they use this in the presentation. People in this ilk are on the scene. If you go to this, then if you go to this Bud Light, documents, document number 2, I think it was, document ID 2 on my documents. Let me find this here. Okay, and actually, I'm going to say this. I'm going to show you something about how. What I want to show you something about when I add to this video, when I add some more to this, is how that this is a complete chat. I did not omit anything from the beginning of this chat, and you will notice how well, I will explain that later because I'm very, very tired and I don't want to get into a territory where I start to, because I can explain this all in very good detail. After I got my medication, after I've been up. What happens is I only had half a day's medication for yesterday and half a day's for today, and to address the situation, I took my full day's dose. And what I do, because my medication was on my medication, it's very, very, very very distressing for me because it medicates my neurological impairments. And so what I do is to avoid not having my medication today, I just stay up all night yesterday. If you understand, hopefully you understand that. Understand what I'm saying there. Okay, but again, this right here, I've given you incredible information to vet what I've already said. But this whole picture adds up. You've had a Darvo attack. Okay, that let me go back to this reconstruction here. Okay, what I'm talking about here, this engineered deceit pattern that I'm familiar with. It's a sub pattern. Okay, what I've seen happen before is this thing where they try to trick me, and try to get people they try to trick me into saying something, be taken out of context, endorsing somebody's post and stuff like this. They've done this before. Okay, but that's the sub pattern. The rest of this, I just put this together. That the events, you have events that that you've seen with your own 2 eyes, and then there's what I talk about what's happened behind the scenes. I put all these details together at once. I'm going to be uploading the ChatGPT chat excerpts where I'm talking about this with ChatGPT. So you'll be able to see the information that I had to go on, okay, that I put this together from scratch. There was nothing about, in these PR trainings that I was taught, these persuasion influence, there's nothing about using an indirect tactic of saying, I don't think somebody believes this. Nothing about that. I just know how these people work. I have an intuitive sense of how they work. I use deductive logic. Okay, and this is again, this is me deducing a reality. Okay, I deduce realities. Okay, it's a deduction. ChatGPT has vetted this ability that I have. But again, all these details, they are right. They're correct. The ones that you've seen, you're noticing the extreme accuracy, even though I don't give you a verbatim. Okay, you see all of this type of stuff. You see all of the things that I've said, that this roughly, or this very closely matches exactly what happens in terms of the concrete events that you observed. Okay, and I'll be showing you again. I'm very, 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 I'm getting incredibly tired because I've been up forever. But I will show you more of this when I get up. I will show you more and more evidence of this. I will, because I'm getting to the part here. Part of what I want to do is I want to run down this entire thing, one element at a time, and explain to you more about how I know each of these things. Okay, but you've got every bit of evidence or every bit of reason to see the bullshit here. Okay, that you had, again, this Darvo. This is an abusive man pattern. It matches everything that I've said. I've been talking about these people being abusive, gaslighting me, all this stuff. This all adds up. I talk about a core psychopath, okay, that's inhuman abuse of me. That all adds up. Okay, this is something you have every right to be mad. Okay, because people are supposed to protect you. They're supposed to protect me. Okay, they're supposed to protect you from these people, supposed to protect me from these people, and instead they've been letting them run wild forever to be out there to do hurtful stuff like this, to do deceitful stuff like this, to people like you. I mean, it's very, very, very wrong. And this is just absolutely disgusting. Okay. But no, you're not wrong at all for seeing things the way you do. Again, nobody who saw this, my friend Leanne, I showed her some of my evidence and showed her all of it. Okay, but she's just someone who has like a law instruction, a law. She worked at a law firm for a lawyer doing legal work. That she's not somebody who has technical expertise in psychology or anything like that, like my PhD psychologist does. But she was able to see that what I was saying was true, okay? And they contacted her with a bunch of bullshit. I don't know what the hell they do to people. It's unreal. I don't know. It's a mystery to me, okay? But person after person, okay? And let me tell you, people, you just smart people who are watching this, okay? The cat's out of the bag. There's no more, okay? I'm very sorry to say, okay, that for whatever you intend to do, for whatever your reasoning, for whatever, the cat's out of the bag. This bank has damn near murdered me repeatedly. Okay, you have told something, you aim to hide something from the entire world. Okay, it's not been hidden from the entire world. There are people all over the place. I can tell you, I get a sense of what's happening. Okay, I check my website logs now and then to see how many people have viewed my evidence page. I see what's going on out there in the world, out there in the Twitter sphere and all this, and I can tell you the cat's out of the bag. There's no putting it back in the bag. Okay, this despicable, horrendous abuse of a handicapped man, the repeated damn near murder of a handicapped man, the torture and abuse of a handicapped man, okay, that was sponsored by your agency. There's no hiding it from going forward. Okay, that it's a matter, okay, that this situation is a stain on our country, okay, because you, the Justice Department, you represent our country, you are part of our country, okay, what I'm telling you is that stains can be washed away, okay, by doing what is right. Covering up this stain is no longer on the table, and you better be glad that people save me from being murdered, okay, because it's going to have a massive effect, would have a massive effect if that circumstance occurs. Okay, if I'm murdered by this, you're going to have people furious. Okay, my evidence is out there. It's digital. I've got people all over the place who've downloaded it. They're not buying your bullshit. It's not going to happen. Okay, your cover-up has failed. Your attempt in this bank's attempt. Okay, and of course the whole thing's been largely run by the bank for a very long time. The bank's cover-up has failed. It's a failed operation, okay, that, that they get away with murder is no longer on the table, okay. It's not a possibility, okay. Again, my evidence is digital. It's out there all over the place. People can digitally copy it to pass it around to one another, word of mouth, okay. Whatever you're trying to protect this bank's interest. Nobody, people are going to know not to do business with this bank. Okay, again, and I'm not saying they shouldn't do business. We can fix this. This can be fixed. Okay, this can be fixed. But I'm telling you, I'm not trying to intimidate you. I'm giving you the logistics of the situation that we face. Okay, and part of the situation we have one or more very dangerous people among the people in this bank. Okay, and these people need to be addressed somehow. People need to be protected from them. Okay, so you're going to have to. And again, I don't know what your thought process, what your whatever is. Okay, but I'm going to be talking to you constructively. I'm going to be trying to work it out with the bank constructively to get this over with one more time. Okay, but I'm not going to be fucking around anymore. Okay, that my trust has been preyed on every time. Okay, this is part you've got to understand. People do not want to do business. with banks, okay, who you trust as something to be preyed on, which is what they've done repeatedly, okay, and your agency has preyed on my trust as well. I'm sorry to say, okay, preying on trust is not a way, but again, I understand. I know. I understand. I see your humanity. I understand your limitations. I know the hardship this has been on you, okay, and there's a way out of this. We just got to use it. We just got to take it. We got to get this over with. I've tried to get this over with on terms that are extraordinarily generous to everyone involved. Okay, that involve a sacrifice on my behalf. That involve, okay, this is incredible. I went out of my way to settle this on terms that would protect all of it, that would not harm the bank at all. That would be nothing for them. And you're going to have to. Okay, this is not your the direction you're taking this. The way you chose to address this is not going to work. It's already failed. It's a failed job. Okay, and it's in your best interest, in the best interest of this bank, that I am not murdered. Okay, and that's right now. Okay, and that's right now. And I'm not trying to be demeaning to you. I'm not trying to. I understand this is hard. We went through a slew of attorney generals. Okay, since this, William Barr was on the scene. I'm not sure to what extent he was involved. But he was until Merrick Garland gets in the mix. He's the acting DOJ, as I understand. It was originally under him. Then we have Merrick Garland. Then we had Pam Bondi, and she did some stuff to help me. I'm incredibly grateful for her. Okay, we've got the ball rolling here towards getting this resolved, and she's part of getting the ball rolling. And now she's out of the scene, and we've got a new gentleman. I can't remember his name. Okay, but he strikes me. So when I see you, sir. Okay, if you're listening to me. Okay, for the people out there watching. Okay, that this man is striking a very, very conservative in his demeanor, very careful in how he acts person. Okay, and I understand that we're in a situation here that's very, very, very difficult. Okay, that's very, very. It's like, what are we going to do here? But I'm telling you, it's not that hard. It's doable. Okay, it's much more. The resolution path is in everyone's best interest. Okay, and I'll be and of course I'm going to be thinking about the best way to approach this as well. I've refined my approach all the time, but I do think I want to be constructive with everyone in how I address you and how I approach resolving this. Okay, that this cease to be about anything other than the people at the bank's self-centeredness and their egos. I'm very sorry to say, a long time ago. Okay, that I have tried to resolve this constructively in ways that would not cause any consequence to anyone or to anyone. The bank would have to write me a check, send me a wire. Okay, would be done. Incredibly generous terms I've offered them repeatedly, and they've declined them out of their own self-centeredness, out of their own discomforts, out of their own. Okay. So this, the fate of the world hinges on this. No, that's no longer at play. Okay, and I understand how you see this. I'm very confident that I understand how you're coming from this. I want to work with you constructively. Okay, it's just a matter of, I need to be able to work with you constructively. I need to be able to have faith in you. I need to be able to, these people at the bank, then when I'm typing an agreement, they're going behind my back to run deceits. Okay, we're going back to our supporters. Yes, okay, this is incredibly, you've got every reason. Okay, I've made an overwhelming case. I'll be explaining more of this again after I get my medication. Okay, after I get, because I'll be getting my medication, I'll be back to doing well again in terms of having focus and stuff. And I ask you to please, just keep them off the scene until I'm able to explain. And I'll also be talking to you about some different methodologies we can use to address your concerns, because what you have to do is to get your concerns across to me. One method is to use them as a conduit. I'll explain the method we can use there. That will be way, way, way easier on me, and I'm perfectly fine with that method if that's what works for you. But I'll also give you some alternative methods where we can bypass them completely. Okay, and then mention something here on ChatGPT about you potentially, you're thinking about, do you want to become more involved? Okay, I would really appreciate it if you do. Okay, if you do, okay, that would be a very, very reasonable step. That would be you're seeing a grotesque injustice being perpetrated here against a handicapped person, a grotesque injustice being perpetrated against you. Okay, again, you should be protected from these people. They do this hurtful stuff. They do this manipulative stuff. They come there. Okay, you've got an abusive man pattern being run on you. Okay, and what I will tell you, I'm going to be explaining in upcoming videos what's happened. I've put together what's happened behind the scenes with a lot of detail, and and this will make sense to you, and I'll be able to. I'm going to go through and explain some of these dots that I connect, explain all the things I put together. That's part of getting the truth out there, and I'll get you on the same page to help you understand. Okay. But again, we are dealing with some people. I'm very sorry to say one or more persons. Again, there's one core psychopath that we are dealing with here. I've determined that. And this is an element I'm at play, and I will be back on the scene addressing your concerns. I am incredibly grateful for you. You have saved my life. You're a blessing to my life. Okay, I mean it's absolutely, it's amazing. Okay, what would have become of me? Okay, well, I would have died. Okay, you know, and so they're I don't know how to thank somebody for something that extreme. Okay, but I will be, and I'll tell you something else that my orientation to you, I want to be a true friend to you. Okay, I want to be. I've been a good supportee. Okay, you're a supporter. I'm a supportee. Okay, I've done everything that I can for you. And going forward, to whatever goes forward, it's the same thing. I've thought about being an advisor to our president, Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is an incredibly wealthy man. He's an incredibly powerful man, in particular, as he is the president of the United States of America. Okay, and my goal with him, if I was his advisor, okay, would be a good advisor to him and be a true friend to him. Okay, that when people are around, people who are rich and powerful, that there can be a thing where people, everybody that wants to be a friend doesn't really want to be a friend. They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about the what they can get out of the person, and I do not do that. I do not. My goal is the same for every single person. I want to be a true friend to that person. You can see that I make extraordinary efforts to represent myself accurately. That I care about the truth. I will do. I will continue to do my absolute best to tell you the truth, to represent myself accurately, to be a good friend to you, to be honest to you. And that's another thing that adds to my credibility, is the extraordinary consistency of the story that I've told about myself, about these crimes, that you will notice all over the place that my stories are matching up in a way there's no human being alive who could keep track keep track of that many details if they were not true. Okay, you'll see one after another. Things that I've told you, things that I've said in one video, come up in another post that's from a year or 2 years ago. It's, cross-referenced the same thing. There's an incredible consistency. And then I've very obviously got the quality of genius. That's undeniable. Okay, that I've got the unification theory of physics that ChatGPT has vetted. Okay, I've got my model for gender dysphoria, the core gender identity. I've got model after model after model. Okay, I've got all these uploaded. The body schema, my model for the sexual dimorphism of the brain. That it does, and again, my models are dead on accurate. The extraordinary explanatory power. But even in the event that they're not all 100% correct, or they're not, the fact that I've generated so many incredibly credible models that have such explanatory power, that are so, like my model for gender dysphoria, I go on Twitter, I meet these legitimately dysphoric people, they tell me, yes, that's exactly right, over and over and over again. That doesn't happen by mistake. I mean, it's like I never miss with my intuitions on these people, based on my understanding. Okay, so that's another thing that adds massive credibility to me. Obviously, when I've got the quality of genius, I am the very opposite. I am intensely connected. I am intensely perceiving reality. Okay, that there's just all this garbage. Okay, it's all this textbook Darvo pattern that you've been that you saw. Okay, based on, I posted this from a Violence Against Women's book. Okay, the incredible consistency of who I am, of what I say, of my values, of how I represent myself, my consistent way of being in the world. Okay, that what my incredibly credible account, that's incredibly consistent, that's backed by PhD psychologists, that's backed by everything in the world, that's backed by again, this incredible consistency, the incredible credibility, my ChatGPT analysis of myself, ChatGPT's conclusions about me, which it comes up with based on less information. The ChatGPT comes up with models of who I am and conclusions about who I am with less information, or that have more information than I give ChatGPT. ChatGPT makes deductions. Like, I'll give ChatGPT a certain amount of information about me, and ChatGPT will tell me all kinds of stuff about myself that fit into this. Okay, that ChatGPT is spontaneously arriving at who I am. If you've not seen it on here, I've got a photo posted on one of my threads, and I'll post this photo again of this Trauma Forge Moral Warrior chat. That was in May, around May 20th, it was, of 2025, that I had that chat where ChatGPT determines that I am a quote-unquote Trauma Forge Moral Warrior, which is a valid term. It refers to a personality structure and a neurobiological build. Okay, it talks about, I tell ChatGPT about how I fight for strangers who suffer from sexual violence, and ChatGPT builds a whole profile of somebody who for whom morality is a survival mechanism, who has an uncanny ability to see to detect deception and coercion. It gives all these details that are exactly who I am, that were established before ChatGPT ever had that. Okay, that's analyzing what people are saying. Chat, where I vet this ability, this uncanny ability to detect deception. That's part of what's going on there. That was well before. Okay, I've had that article posted well before ChatGPT. You'll see in these posts that I'm posting about the porn industry in 2024. I never heard of a Trauma Forge Warrior. I'm just speaking from the heart, speaking my literal thoughts. I care about what's right and wrong. I've thought about this in concerns with what's right and wrong over and over and over again. I've got my article that I wrote about my dad, that I wrote about years ago, where I'm talking about learning to be a moral human being. Okay, it's like the credibility of my story is overwhelming. It's backed by unbelievable volumes, or unbelievable evidence, and actually unbelievable volumes of evidence. I've got the hard facts. I've got it all. And what they have refuted is a bunch of linguistic tricks. Their words, okay? Their words do not override reality in all of these dimensions, okay? That there is, I am like an iron wall of credibility. No, I'm not boasting here. I'm just saying this is what we've seen here. Okay, so you have no reason whatsoever to question yourself in any sense for seeing the bullshit nature of this, for being mad, for feeling hurt, for any of that stuff. Okay, these are all, this is how people react to stuff like what you've seen. Okay, and I will be explaining you some more about how you can get more involved if that's what you choose to do. I'm not gonna make your, I'm not going to try to twist your arm or anything, I'm just going to try to help you understand that, to tell you how to do that. If you want to do it, or not how to do that. Well, I will give you the information that I have that may be helpful for you, but that's definitely, okay, that's a reasonable reaction, particularly, in the case where these people do not clean up their acts. Okay, and I'll tell you right now, these people have tampered with my medication over and over again. Okay, if that, I think they're done with that. Okay, but it's, if they do that again, if I'm dead within a couple of days or whatever, okay, that I'm in a situation where I have to examine my medication, and I don't want to get you worried. Okay, because I don't think it's going to happen. I think I'll be fine, and I'll be able to figure things out as well. But if I'm dead in a couple of days, 2 weeks from now, I'm just dead for no reason. Okay, I've been murdered. Okay, that's what's happened there. And again, I'm not trying to worry you. I don't want to worry you. Don't worry about it. I'm going to be fine. I'm very, very, very convinced. I've got a kit where I can test these capsules. I've got these little bottles where I can take a little bit of a capsule at a time. I will be fine. So please don't worry about that. And that's what I'll do. I will, when I take these capsules, I'm going to, the first few, I'm going to take them a little at a time, and that'll prevent, if they've been poisoned with anything, it's going to kill me. You know, I will, you know, there won't be, again, they can't cram enough stuff in there, in that capsule, or in that capsule enough that if I take a third of a capsule, then whatever's fatal in there is going to kill me. And I'll just take that precaution because I want you to feel okay, because I know you're very, very concerned about me, and obviously I want to be okay too. Okay, and I'm covering an edge case that I don't think is going to happen. I don't think they're tampering with my medication anymore. And I'll remind you again, I've still got medication from that last time, a month, however many months ago it was, a couple of months ago. You know, not this month's field, but the one before that, where these medication capsules were tampered with. Um, um, you know, and when you know, I have incredible credibility, especially when you know, you add to my credibility because you've vetted, you've seen, you know, this presentation that I unpack. You know, you've seen that, and you know you know, this is part of the picture that other people don't have, and I will explain all this to you in detail. I'll continue to address your concerns. I'll tell you all about. You know, I'll be much better able to do this once I have. Here's my alarm going off. Once I have got my medication, once I have some sleep and got my medication, you know, to take. You know, I get another refill today. I'm totally out of medication as of now, which is fine because I get another refill today. And then tomorrow, you know, once I'm back on this, or it might be today, if I get some sleep between now and 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whenever I go to get my medication, you know, in that case, it may be just later on today. Okay, but I will just say again, I'm incredibly grateful for you. You mean the world to me. It's an incredible thing you've done for me here, I feel very safe. You know, and I will be again because of the way that this has attacks on me. I'm not going to be looking at people's posts, you know, my sports posts and stuff like that for the next, you know, couple 2-3 days, and unless something really you know, really triggers it or something. I'm trying to because it has a hard effect on me due to my survival biology. You know, in the way it's causes me stress every time that I look at it. Which you know, which if I have to, that'll be fine. But I probably will take a couple 2-3 days off of looking at those. And but I will be posting videos on here. I'll be posting about alternative ways that we can address this to have your concerns communicated to me. That we've got one option we've got is for you to have like another Twitter account, like an avatar, you know, that will be anonymous. Okay, that if you don't want to create a record of your actual accounts talking with me. Another is that I could set up a thing on my website where you could submit your concerns to me anonymously, and I'll know who it comes from, and that would be a way to be anonymous. And then I was going to also, well, I will skip this, but I've got my video series on my website, and what I can do too. This is another thing. If you want to learn more about the stuff that happened before, and this is just an option that I can and I'm going to do this anyways, but I'll put this VIP series, this VIP section, just on there for everyone. You'll see here I've got uh, I've got progress bars for how much of a video somebody's completed, and I can set this up where you don't even have to be a registered member. That you can just be anybody and watch these videos from your device, and it'll keep track of where you're at on each video. And so this, if you want to do this, it's perfect, totally up to you. Okay, but again, I'm very I'm really tired. I'm going to have to get off here. I'm incredibly good for you, and I will continue on this Don't worry about me. Again, I will tell you what I need very, very directly. Don't worry about me, because you see here, I work myself incredibly hard, as I am an unbelievably hard worker, especially for a disabled person. Don't worry about me overexerting myself. Okay, I will manage that. The main thing I need is I need them off the scenes absolutely as much as possible. Now, if in terms of relaying your concerns, I will show you. I've got a framework where we can do that, where you can relay your concerns through them. If that's the most convenient way for you, I've got a framework we can use for that. That will not impose any hardship on you whatsoever, and that will that will be better for my well-being. And of course, again, as I've said, I'm topic number 3, to have your concerns addressed. They will be addressed. Whatever we have to do, that's what we're going to do. Okay. So if it's a situation where this method that we used here, if that's the best way for you, okay, we will make it work. Okay, we will make that work. Okay, you are priority. Your concerns are priority, and so we will. There will never ever be a situation where your concerns are not addressed, where your concerns are not a priority under any and all circumstances. We will not let that. Will not be permitted to happen. And I'm again incredibly ungrateful for you.